want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them all. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneak, it's on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is...
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. 50 years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. 3rd down here.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to tell. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Flush to his right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
Here's Harris to return it. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now call. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cam Chancellor with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Fighting through it. He's got space. Spinning again. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out to kick is Janikowski. Here's Harris to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, They may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to air this out. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. He'll get it up the middle. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Janikowski good with the extra point. And it's now 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So 1 quarter down here in the Super Bowl. 21-0 our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He finds Roberts, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. first down. The run with Lynch. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Carr. That is caught at the 7. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
He's got room to run past the 20. And all the way up to the 46. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle is missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It appears they'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Penny, a first down carry. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want, but I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
They run it with Carson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
That was Rashad Penny. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run forward with Penny, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Here's Penny. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try. And time has run out on this first half.
So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of a key phrase. What did you do at halftime?
It's a foot race. 30, past the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. J.D. McKissick, 65 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it is 28-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out to kick is Janikowski. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. A big play last time they were out there. Looked like they might give up points. Instead, they got the fumble recovery, and it led to a touchdown.
And on their side of the field, perfect time to get that done. But you're skeptical about it happening because it appeared that a pretty good drive was occurring. They were able to stop it and take the ball.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Frank Clark, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, Lynch. Finding room at the 30. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll make it third down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That's 30 yards now on the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw his car, and Cook has it left side. The 20, and he is down deep into Seattle territory. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays. And the Raiders have got him.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They go read option to Wilson. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Dancing to his left. And he fends him off. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A lot of happy faces. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Carr. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Seahawks looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you...
And they finally catch up to him and take him down. Jeez, where was he going? A huge loss there. Tahir Whitehead. He's the one that runs him down, and my goodness, that will be a huge loss on the play. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now Wilson. Forced out to his left. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and forever.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but it's still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he is going absolutely nowhere in the wrong direction. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On 1st down, Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Defense.
Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer, still did it anyway.
Get down. 180.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
He's a little too aggressive there from his Mike linebacker spot.
Sometimes you jump into gaps trying to draw them off sides. This time he tricked himself.
Get down. 185.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Got a little antsy there from his Mike linebacker position.
Partner, there's times you think you've timed up the quarterback's cadence. You think you've got a read on it. He might have thought it on that play. He was wrong.
Carr going to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jordy Nelson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead is down to 28-10. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They go read option with Wilson. And now spinning away. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson completes it to Dixon. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Throws left side, complete to Brandon Marshall. And the ball is knocked out, and the Raiders have recovered.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll throw again from their own end zone, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudens.